disappointed with how your team responded. Seemed to be giving up a lot of easy baskets. Didn't make a lot of progress from that.
No, we didn't. We're not containing dribble penetration. We're not rotating. Giving up second shots. Hard to win.
In the post, you hope your post guys are just more aggressive, or
you know, and we're giving up a lot of size in this game. You know, I go with basically two fours to start the game. I thought Melson gave us some quality minutes, but you know, even the post guys that were having their way inside was, I think, really more of a function of us breaking down on the perimeter. I mean, they made some decent post moves. It wasn't like they were running a lot of stuff to get them the ball. I mean, they were just catching the ball and finishing. So, you know, we just got to do a better job of containing penetration.
So, you challenge him? Is that like an in-your-face challenge to your manhood to get dunked on? Zeller did it 7 times and 10 times as a team.
Well, yeah, I addressed that during one of the timeouts. Yeah, exactly that.
Could you question their toughness at this point? Just, I mean, foul them or hit them, or
that came up. Yeah, absolutely.
So late in the game, I think 3 guys hacked. I can't remember which guy.
Well, you know, you don't want to just start chopping guys either. They're in the bonus, they're in a double bonus, they're a good free throw shooting team. You're not going to really. I mean, maybe once to knock them out of rhythm or something like that. But you know, if there's penetration and there's help, we help up, then we got to rotate down. If we help from the wing, then we got to rotate over. I mean, this is not complicated stuff here. I mean, now granted, they spread you out. They've got good 3-point shooters, and you know, you talk about 3-point shooting, so you got guys worried about staying on their man and this and that. So it's a little bit of a unique situation. Question about that. But at some point, they only made 4 threes. It wasn't like they were killing it. They were just, why shoot a 3? Just go off the dribble.
With the transition offense, you know that there's going to be more points scored. I mean, when the tempo of the game is like that, do you encourage to keep that? You know,
well, for us, that's better typically. You know, I mean, we shot 80 in the second half. You go on the road, you shoot 80 in the second half, score 89. You should be in pretty good shape, shouldn't you? You know, so we were scoring in transition. I thought our decision making, with a few exceptions. I mean, you know, Bryce 8 and 6. You know, when he's pushing, you expect 4, 3, 4, but you can't have 6. Not against this team.
You just might give Josh a little boost. He wasn't hesitating to take that perimeter shot that you've been wanting him to take.
I thought his moving without the ball, his shot selection, when to shoot it, when to shot fake drive it, when the shot fake shooters pull up was the best it's been. He's really working on it, and he's a terrific player.
Did you just want to get some extra offense in with Aaron and Bryce and Aaron off the bat?
No, I made that move because I thought it would help both Melson and Eric. I thought it would help our team a little bit. To bring Melson off the bench, I thought, you know, and I thought he was okay. I mean, what did he do? He had, you know, 6 and 3 in 13 minutes. He got in foul trouble, but he got a dunk early. He got a dunk late. He got fouled a couple times. You know, usually, you know, he's good for 4 for 4 instead of 2 for 4. But Eric's back's been bothering him a little bit. I don't think you're seeing the explosion from him. So I just thought that we're going to run the break, put Marble over on the wing, put Cadence out there, let's run. And Bryce has played ball against these guys. I thought it was a good time. And I'll probably keep it that way.
You went with Gabe a little bit in the second half. Was it just to try to find anything at that point inside?
Well, a little bit of that, and a little bit that he has worked and sort of earned a shot. And I thought that was a good time to give him a shot. You know, it's not easy when you're Archie and Brahmer, and you know, you go in, you play 2-3 minutes, you come out. It's hard to settle down. And Brahmer in particular, you know, he fumbles the first pass he catches or doesn't catch. You know, so I feel for him, but at the same time, I got a long arm guy who's got a great motor, who keeps balls alive. And he gets fouled. You know, we got to give him a shot.
Are you disappointed that maybe your team wasn't disgusted with getting dunked on so much? They acted like, oh, they went down to the other end of the floor and tried to score, and then they went back for more.
I was upset with a lot of things that happened on the defensive end of the floor.
Matt seems to be that defensive captain type. Does he get on guys in any way?
He does. He does. And I thought he worked hard today. I mean, he fought. You know, we give them a tough assignment, we start them on Watford, that's a tough assignment for anybody when you're 6'5" and 6'9". But, you know, we just didn't really dig in when we had to, no question about it.
You stood their initial salvo and got within 32-31, and then they scored in 10 in the last 11 possessions and a half. Is that where the game really got away?
Well, yeah, I mean, we had it, even when it was 8 a couple minutes to go, and we went from 8 to 17. You can't let it get away because, you know, we were cooking in the second half. It changes everything. You know, we got it back to 12, but we would have had it, you know, back to 5, back to 4. It changes everything.
Going back to Gabe, would you contemplate giving him more minutes now based off what you saw today?
I would.
Doug's aside, what do you think? What's your thoughts about Zell?
Well, I mean, I think I watch a lot of film, obviously. He's as good as any freshman big man I've ever seen. And you know, not because he made a lot of shots today. I mean, he's great when he gets 15. You know, because he's going to shoot a good number. He's going to make his foul shots. He's going to rebound. He can pass it. He can dribble it. He can break the press. He can make a play. He can steal the ball. You don't typically find 6'11", 7-footers with that kind of feel for how to play the game. And that's what I think people appreciate about that kid. He knows how to play, and he helps his team in any way that they need it. Whatever the situation calls for, that's what he does. He's not hunting shots. He doesn't care about his stats. He knows at the end of the game he's going to have stats.
When you have the games like this one or Michigan State, and you go back to working on defense, do you make radical changes? Is it just little tweaks?
I don't know what radical changes you can make. You know, I'm limited with, you know, shuffle the deck again with the starting lineup. That's one thing. You can play more zone. You can press more. You know, I don't know that pressing more is the answer because you're opening up the floor to talented basketball players. Because anybody that we play. You know, so I think you're going to be intelligent with how you press. I'm not going to commit to press on every made basket, things of that nature. So I don't know that radical changes are going to do anything.
One last question.
Looking at your resume, there's no secret you're an offensive first coach, but what can you do? I mean, what do you want to see from your team that takes the floor Wednesday against Minnesota? How are you going to challenge them?
You know, I just think you want to be a little tougher, a little more physical, a little tougher, a little more away from the ball. You know, our defense on the ball is fairly engaged. You know, sometimes a good player's going to go around you. But it's our weak side, when to help, when not to help, when to help and recover quickly, when to help and stay. All right, if he helps and stays, who's picking up, you know, who's helping the helper? Who's helping the helper who helped the helper? I mean, that's what basketball is, and that's where we're deficient.